Breaking news, we just uploaded our analysis literally a couple hours ago, but I was watching this video with my friend Coop, and we might have just found something that completely changes the way items work in this game. In this clip that I was, so excited because the green shell hits the piranha and then it drops the mushroom. I thought that was the coolest thing. It's a cool gimmick, but there's something really bizarre here. So Bowser Jr. throws the green shell, and there is a very long gap between he then starts to pull out the mushroom. I timed it up, and it's exactly 2 minutes and 4/10 of a second around there. It's not gonna be 100% accurate because I'm working in 30 frames per second, but it's around there. I then went in with Bowser Jr. And recreated throwing a green shell, then taking out a mushroom, and it was basically 9/10 of a second, less than a full second, and less than like a second and a half less than what it is in the trailer. Now, the trailer does cut camera, but you can see Bowser Jr. is in the middle of his drift hop animation, so they didn't change the time or anything. It's the same race. As you can see, the little green shell particles disappear in the background there. This is bizarre. There's two possible explanations for this. One of them being they just completely messed with the time that it takes to use a secondary item. Now, this would actually make sense with Nintendo's recent theory for balancing the game. Nintendo's recent theory, at least in my opinion, has been, hey, we need to balance Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but we can't change any character or vehicle stats because that will immediately invalidate the entire time trial scene. If time trialers are racing with these cards and they suddenly change the stats, make something worse or make something better, that just messes with the entire scene. So thankfully, they're not doing that. What they have done instead, though, is with Wave 3, they added in a new stat which only impacts your invincibility frames, obviously something that doesn't matter in time trials because you're not getting hit by items. So maybe their new theory for balancing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is messing with the items, whether it's, they eventually change item distribution, or what they seem to be doing here, messing with the buffer time before you can pull out your secondary item, which will obviously have big ramifications for players in first, not being able to block certain certain items and whatnot. This is huge. This is a big deal, and it's not a rounding error because it is significantly longer, over double as long. The other idea that Cooper had, this is originally what he thought it was, and if he's right on this, that's absolutely crazy. The biggest possible change they have ever made to Mario Kart. That time in which Bowser Jr. pulls out the second mushroom, what if that's not an item that he was holding and he got from a previous double item box, but rather the mushroom that he picks up on the ground from the piranha plant? We never see the mushroom fire trail or the mushroom effect on Bowser Jr.'s car. We only see his drift sparks, and he pulls out the mushroom because of this, supposed delay. He pulls out the mushroom virtually right when he would have went over the mushroom that the piranha plant dropped. You can see the mushroom drops a little bit. I mean, you can't see 100% where it drops, but it looks like it drops past that first coin and a bit like on the exact same line pretty much. It maybe a bit to the inside, but pretty much on the exact same line. Then as Bowser Jr. goes, he picks up the coin, and then where the mushroom would be, he goes over it. We can't see the mushroom anywhere else in the shot, and he suddenly pulls up a mushroom, and it's the same shot. Can you pick up dropped items now? Or at least dropped mushrooms or maybe stars from lightning? That would be the biggest change they've ever made in the history of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, at least just for the core gameplay, and I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. Yeah, so I don't really know exactly how to feel about this. This is like, it would be a pretty big change. If we just assume that it's only they just messed with the timing and the mushroom either just disappears or we just can't see it in this shot somehow, then the timing changing is like, it's a pretty big deal, but it's not, massive. It'll change how people play online 100%. It will change how you play locally if you're, try-harding with friends 100%, but it's not like a completely game-changing thing like when you get shocked in a glider and now you don't fall, which is, again, something they changed within the last wave that had massive gameplay ramifications. So if you can now pick up dropped items, that would completely change the game. It would rebuff Lightning because Lightning got nerfed when the glider, glider thing was, I guess, patched or changed. Lightning got 100% nerfed because then now the person who uses the lightning can't just wait until everyone's in a glider and completely win the race. But now if you're, in like 11th or 12th, then you use a lightning, you will be able to not just use, but pick up and save mushrooms, because a lot of times mushrooms will be dropped and they're not super useful. You just get like the speed boost. But if you can pick them up now and then save them for certain like mushroom cuts, that would be unbelievable. This was just a super quick video I wanted to record because this is, again, potentially game-changing news here. I don't even know what to say. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this down in the comments below. Is this completely overreacting? I don't think so, because there's such a huge discrepancy within the timers that clearly something has been changed here. We don't know exactly what it will be. Of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button because I will be running a lot of tests on this when it actually drops on the 9th. I'll stay up until, midnight or 3 a.m. whenever they end up actually releasing the DLC. But yeah, this is an absolutely huge change. And just thinking about it, if you can now pick up items, then, or at least pick up mushrooms, what does that mean about other items? Like, maybe there's a chance that you can only pick up the items that the piranha plants drop, or like that the leaves in Maple Tree Way drop, but that would be terrible because then you wouldn't be able to know what item was there from a shock or from, a stage hazard. So maybe you can only do it with mushrooms, because it would be absurd if you could pick up now a dropped red shell, because prior, if, a red shell or a green shell got shocked out of you, it would just act as like essentially a banana. It was just a stationary object that if you run into it hits you. But now if you run into those and can pick them up, that would be insane. First place would then be able to get blockers a lot more consistently, because instead of, potentially getting a coin when you roll an item box, you could pick up, a guaranteed red shell or a guaranteed green shell. I don't think that would be the case. Oh, I hope not, because that's the last thing we need in this game is first place getting more blockers. I think maybe if this is the case, again, we don't know. I don't want to act like this is confirmed or anything. If it is the case that you can pick up items, then maybe it's a only mushroom thing. Or what about stars? Like, what if you get a star shocked out of you and, go able and are able to pick that up? Will it use it automatically, or can you hold it? There's just so many questions here. We don't know if this is, confirmed at all. There's just so much stuff to be asked. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow the channel. I'll tweet out if we find anything more. Make sure to drop some comments down below letting me know how you feel about this, what you think the realistic possibility of it is. Do you think they just increase the time in which you use a secondary item, which again is a pretty big change, or do you think they completely revamp the game once again, just like how they did last wave with the glider shocks, and now lightning items that are on the course can be picked up, at least mushrooms can? Absolutely crazy discovery. Again, big thanks for my friend Coop for, pointing that out. I just did not notice that at all. And yeah, thanks for watching.